Hello there, my brave and ass princesses and princesses and gather friends, and today we are going to be reviewing a game called Bakery Simulator. Only this time, for this instance, something a little different is happening, because I'm not the only one reviewing this game. As a matter of fact, I have two people here who also are playing the game, actually playing it right now, and that is Yuki and Axis.
Hello.
Hi there!
Hi everybody, this is Queen Supreme Yuki here, playing with two very beautiful people that I desperately love.
So we're going to start by talking about the cons about this game, and then we'll move on to the pros. So I'm pretty sure Exodus and Yuki have a lot to say about it since they've been playing this game more than me.
Yeah, we've been playing it non-stop for like 2-3 days now, just to get a feel for the game and to get all of the achievements and unlocks. It's been pretty fun, but I do have some gripes, like with every game.
Alright, so, what do you want to talk about first? So we'll start with the biggest problem of this game, which is the driving part of this game. So, Axis, you want to tell them what happened with you?
Well, some of the issues with the driving portion of this game happen to be that some parts of it, it's hard to explain. Turn radiuses are not great. If you accidentally bump into something, it could send you spinning out of control or crashing into other cars, which I have experienced multiple times. I've also flipped the car once or twice, which may or may not have sent it spinning around on its top.
Also, when you do crash into other cars, they lose their wheels, but you don't. So, Yuki, what do you think about the whole driving part of the game?
The driving part of the game, I feel like, has a good sense of balance, but as well as issues. Like Axis mentioned, whenever you crash into something, not only do you come to a full stop, but occasionally, like, something will just go horribly wrong, and it just is like a major setback. There have been multiple instances where I have been making perfect time on delivering an order manually, and I crashed into like one thing and it either like set me flying, or the game just decided that like it wasn't going to do anything. So I went from being on track to being like 3 minutes late because of one mess up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I'm feeling about the game.
Now, the game does have a fail-safe for when you do crash. It does give you the option to reset your position, and from at least what I experienced when I used that option, the game did put me closer to the objective. I don't know about what about you two. What did it do for you two?
It put
did it did send me a little bit closer to the objective, but not by much. And to be fair, it just feels so finicky. It doesn't feel like it's worth it. At this point in the game, I'm mostly just using the delivery driver option because it's just so daunting of a task. It does not feel very fun to me to drive. I feel like if they set the delivery option up at the beginning and then you decide between the two, that would be easier. But for the most part, I probably, after the first parts of the game, will not end up driving again.
So, Yuki, do you want to tell the people when you can get the delivery driver? Because you have to actually, there are different bakeries that you deliver to, and each one gives you specific upgrades and specific perks. One of them gives you the delivery driver, another, say, gives you a discount on spices or whatever ingredients you need to get. Another gives you options on better equipment. There is better equipment in this game. You can level up your place. You can level up your oven, you can level up your mixer, you can level up basically the entire room you can customize, which is pretty nice. And I only found that out recently by watching one of Yuki's streams when she played this game, which blew my mind.
Yeah, apparently I found like a lot of things that these guys just had no idea, and I'm just like, my first time playing, yet apparently I'm just doing a thing.
So now so those are some of the negatives. The other negatives that we don't like is the fact that when you put in the muffin pans, the muffin paper things, you have to do one at a time. It would make life so much easier if you could just press and hold, which they're doing a patch for, where you can just press and hold and fill them in. But it would just be nice if you could do it all at once with all of them, not just one. The other thing that I think they need to add is the ability to pick up all of the donuts at once, not just one at a time, because that wastes so much time to do, right, guys?
And
Yes.
it also costs you the ability to burn your nuts. We don't like burnt food, thank you.
Yeah. The other thing that would be nice, I think, is the fact that the muffin trays and the bread trays should not cost us money because they're already in the place.
Agreed.
And we also should be able to press and hold on the muffin trays or the loaf trays and be able to, say, type in a number of the amount of how many trays we want to pull out and
That way we're
place
not
down.
having to sit there and manually count on everything.
Yeah,
It is annoying. I would like to be able just to fill up my tray and go. One of the other things I also have an issue with is the, well, it goes on with some other mechanics like pulling and pushing things around in your facility because I've gotten, what's it called? The last upgrade for your kitchen. And apparently, moving some things around can cause it to spaz out. Like, some things are jiggly and janky, and if I accidentally knock something or clip something into something else, it'll send all of my trays on the lower racks flying. I
I've
have
had this
things
happen as well.
flying everywhere.
I can completely agree to this. That has happened to me multiple times, and I've actually straight up I've had to skip a day because it actually cost me to completely lose the entire order.
The other thing we want to mention that also is a bit of a pain in the neck is the glitch that happens with the bread multiplier or the bread cutter. When you pick up the bread tray, as you see, it doesn't go in unless you crouch down and put it in, which is like the most pain in the neck thing ever. So
Yeah.
that needs to be fixed. Although it kind of fixes itself every time you upgrade, but still, it would be nice if we didn't have to
For
worry
someone
about
like
that.
me who has the final upgrade and can't upgrade further past this point, it really is a pain in the neck, and it makes me not want to do the buns anymore because I either A, have to resort to hand making buns, or B, have to crouch, which actually slows me down and completely takes time out of it.
I agree to this 100%. It slows you down so much to the point where it's like you have to like be like right on top of it and like just be running around constantly, and then you have to perfectly crouch after having already gotten so far, and then it's just like having to put anything on the red tray as well. You have to crouch, and I get it if it's just like a sensitivity thing, or like maybe we're just like not walking like normal people. But like we shouldn't be having to crouch to put things on a tray when we can see it perfectly fine standing up like normal people. Regarding to another nitpick is that if you've already unlocked a good spice, I don't feel like you should be having to like make a manual list like we've been having to on what goes in what. I feel like once you've figured out what the good spice is, the game should automatically tell you what spice you need.
Yeah, it should be on the list of ingredients. I agree.
It really should.
Oh, the other thing, the one last thing about nitpicks. There are occasional times, this has happened to me, where you'll pick a recipe, and the recipe's picture will be missing on the ingredients list, and you will make the entire process of the ingredients, and because that picture isn't there, the game won't know what you're making. It's a glitch that happens, and it needs to stop. The other part.
Oh, yeah, I've had that bug too. It has cost me so much in my money.
The other thing that I think we need some more help on is while the tutorial is extremely helpful in getting you started and stuff, it would be helpful if there was a tutorial on distinguishing the difference between, lava buns and buns in general, so that we know what the difference is. Because we read buns, we're gonna make buns, but sometimes those buns we have to use the cutter thing, and we don't know that. So it would be helpful if the game told us. Or other certain things like triangles. Well, we figured out the triangles. Lava buns is circles, and there was one that requires squares, so.
Another nitpick is that I feel like when it comes to introducing a new part of the game, like the triangle, the square, and the circle, I feel like the game should have done like a small mini tutorial in the beginning to at least introduce that device to you so you know what the purpose of, instead of you just being like, I don't understand, I don't get it, on like why all of a sudden you're like losing so much money because you don't know what it is they're talking about when they mention triangle. It took me $500 to figure out what it meant because I kept buying more and more and more supplies only to not realize like why it wasn't working, because the shape thing, like it made no mention at all of the fact that you needed it to begin with.
game. Now, to the positives. It is very enjoyable to make bread, right, guys?
Oh my god, is it
100%.
addicting. Like, when I first got into it and I started making bread, it was my favorite thing ever. I think croissants are easily my favorite thing to make.
And you can make a lot of things in this game. You can make accesses, you can make croissants, you can make pretzels, you can make different kinds of breads, you can make brownies, you can make muffins, you can make donuts. You can't put sprinkles on them, which is weird. Can put in spices, which we will get to. We will get to that in a moment. Hold on. Now, the other positive thing about this game is, of course, the delivery system. That is pretty nice once you can get it. You basically just kind of have to manage your money a little bit to where, and you also at one point when you get your reputation higher in these places, you can get the ability to do multiple orders at once. It can be a good thing. And it also could kill you if you're not careful, depending on what you pick. Don't pick a lot of muffins.
I've done 180 muffins before, and if you're not careful, you can end up screwing yourself over. I feel like it should give you at least a little bit more time for some of this stuff.
Like, if the game is registering the fact that you need to make, like, 90 plus muffins, even though 20 minutes or 30 minutes sounds like an amazing amount of time, if you decide to manually pick and go through all 4 or 5 quests to get as much money as possible, you're going to realize that by the time you're done with all of those 99 muffins or 99 donuts, you have 5 minutes left, which basically forces you to either have to call in or deliver those 99 donuts or muffins and then having to skip the day so you're not losing more money by being even later.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys
Can
want
we
to
discuss what happens when you get too late? After a certain point,
Yeah,
you'll
go
end
ahead.
up actually having to pay the baker. I did not like that
At all.
The other thing is, you guys want to explain what delaying does also? You know, when you call for delay?
When you
Oh,
call
yeah.
for sorry.
Sorry,
Calling for delay, it does grant you a little bit of time, but there's that huge risk of the fact that because you're calling for delay, you are willingly accepting the fact that you're losing up to $300 to $400 because you need more time, because people are asking for an insane amount of stuff instead of making it fair and much more manageable. I feel like the game should have a system where if people are ordering more than 60 items, they should have a feature to where they give you a time until the customer arrives to pick up the stuff instead of you having to deliver. They should add a feature that allows for people to come and pick up the stuff themselves.
Yeah, I think that would be nice if they could come and pick it up. That would be kind of nice.
one of the things I do love is some of the machines that do the work for you.
Yeah.
Like, I have a baguette. One of the things I do absolutely love about this game is the option to, like, make things with machines. That makes things much easier. Like, I'm currently making 75 dark chocolate croissants, and it's really easy with the croissant.
Another small gripe and complaint is the manual egg issue. Is that the game, I feel like, should tell you how many of each egg you need to get the perfect amount. There have been multiple instances with multiple orders that I have overdone the eggs because I don't know how many I'm needing, because the amount part of the game is not explicitly clear on what you need.
Another thing I think that needs to be fixed is the ability to see your ingredients and be able to see over the bowl as you pour into the muffin pans or the bread pans. That's also a problem.
I feel like the bowl is so large that I can't see over it. It's like I feel short. I feel itty bitty.
Bowl shouldn't be in your view while you're collecting stuff. You should have like a mental awareness that it's there and be able to just keep going.
Okay, so now let's talk about what we mentioned before, Yuki. So eventually, you guys, when you get to the second upgrade, you'll get this thing called spices, and Yuki has been busy finding out what spices go where. So Yuki, do you want to tell them about?
So this list is incomplete, but we are still, again, having to continually update by trying to remember what we've added and what we believe is the right answer, and only to find out it's a bad spice or it's like a neutral spice. So far we have that the Twin Brothers buns, cinnamon, which, I'll be fair, that sounds delicious. The Granny buns are also cinnamons as well. Lava buns is chili. I figured that one out because I was like lava, and I think chili, I think hot and spicy, and lava is hot. Cheat day donuts are caramel, thanks to Axis and her wonderful efforts to help me figure out. She figured out the caramel for the cheat day donuts. Sunny loaf is orange peels. Surprise buns is jam. Folks loaf is dried cranberry. Square buns is mascarpone cheese. Morning bun is jam, and as is breakfast bun. Those are both jam. Twin Sisters buns is cinnamon. Baguettes are regular garlic powder. Sunny bread is orange peel. And bronze bread is dried cranberry. Those are the only things at the moment that we directly have an actual answer to. Oh, I'm sorry. Brownies is vanilla. I overlooked that part on my list. Brownies is vanilla. And even though I would have thought could have been something like cranberry or caramel. Caramel sounds really good, but the game's text is like so small and it's hard to like read a lot of this.
Right, so there will be a list. I'll have a card come up with a list of everything that Yuki just said. Now, what are some additions to the game besides what I mentioned that you guys would like? Like multiplayer? Co-op?
Oh,
Multiplayer would be absolutely wonderful. Imagine being able to play, like, have a bakery go with your friends. Like, or if they were to remove the call for delivery option completely, which would not be a good idea, but if they were to, but there was multiplayer, you could have one person in a group of friends going out and doing all the manual deliveries while you have one or two people back at the main bakery making more food. So that way we're constantly making money and it's constantly busy instead of us having to constantly watch the timer and figure out everything that we need. And like having to panic when you get down to like last like 3 minutes and you still have 2 orders left, so you're forced to call for delivery, no matter how fast you are.
Oh yeah, we would like to be able to make pies and cakes.
oh
That
yes.
sounds amazing. Honestly, the fact that that's not already in the game, I feel like is a huge step down. It's a bakery. Why aren't we doing pies and cakes? That would just, the fact that we aren't already is like a problem.
It'd be cool.
Honestly, pies, cakes, custards,
Yeah.
tarts,
Pudding.
that would be awesome. Ooh, yes.
I think there also should be coffee and stuff, and tea.
Yeah.
Another cool thing, I just thought of this, another cool thing that could happen with multiplayer is, you could have the option of having, of different bakeries, as Yuki was saying, where one person could drive up and take the orders you've made and drive off, or you could drive up and actually we should be able to customize our bakery too on the outside, with chairs and stuff. And for multiplayer be able to have like one of your friends come in as a character and sit down and you be able to serve your friend if they have the in-game cash to pay. Wouldn't that be cool, guys?
That would be amazing.
So, but yeah, I think you can customize the inside of your kitchen and everything and all of that, but it would be cool if you could also customize a bakery interior, of like a restaurant cafe thing.
That would be really cool. I would love that.
Or maybe even to like be able to customize, like if it's Valentine's Day, being able to just provide decorations for that season, I feel like would be like a huge bonus. You'd like just be like, it's like super cute, like you get this temporary adorableness of like pink and red. Or the holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving, you be able to give the option of, if you celebrate that holiday, let the people like customize their shop that way.
Oh yeah, there also should be cupcakes.
Cupcakes! I mean, we have all
Oh,
the
that's right. There's muffins. There's muffins. I'm sorry. My brain was just like, didn't understand.
But yeah, there should be, customizable, more customization, more recipes for things like, say, when you make pretzels. I think you can add cinnamon to pretzels, like in real life, or butter, or salt, or both, or mustard, just all that stuff. We do want a free play mode where nothing costs anything. You can just make whatever to your heart's content.
Yes.
That is something else we want.
Or take away the timer.
Or that.
Because I mean, if this is like a competitive thing, then the timer would make sense. But this isn't a competitive thing. This is just an area where like we're just having fun. But instead of like being able to just enjoy and truly enjoy what you're doing, instead your eyes is more so on that timer. Like, how much time do you have left? I think that gets a lot of my complaints out of the way.
All right. Yuki's Twitch will be in the description. Axis's YouTube will be in the description. Yuki's YouTube will be in the description. I do edit their videos, so they're a good time. They're a very good time. Stop by to the stream. Stop by to Yuki's streams because she deserves it. And take care of yourselves. Leave a like and subscribe because there's always room for more next video. Goodbye, everyone.